Welcome back to Open Your Mind. Yes, the long-awaited Transport Fever 2. We've had a couple of problems. I posted a video a day ago about the Devon and, Dorset in Hampshire map. It should really actually be nicknamed, in my opinion, the Adriatic Coast. Well, actually, it's not all of it's not really the Adriatic Coast, but the Dorset and Hampshire map. It was actually not a problem of the map. It was actually some reason of financial something went glitch with the actual game. So when I started, I had 5 million, but when you usually start in a game, that 5 million is not loan. It's just your bank balance. You start with 5 million and you get 5 million worth of loan. But for some reason, when I was starting, there was 5 million worth of bank balance plus 2. So I basically had loaned 5 million and I started with 0. But actually, you start with 0 loan. So basically, you should start with 0 loan and have 5 million like this. But I started with 5 million bank balance and 5 million loan. But I never loaned 5 million. So what I've basically done is repaid that all back and gone into the modding and got Sandbox mod. It's a very good mod. You can change the year and stuff like that. Then I just put in 5 million into what I should have, and then I have 5 million worth of loan. But on from that, the map, yeah. So now we have 5 million worth of borrowing, and we're ready to start. We're ready to start our empire. So, already auto-saving. I literally have not done anything. But the map we've chosen is actually something different. I think I'm personally a bigger fan of this map. No offense to the editor person who made the Dorset and Hampshire map. This is the southwest of England. So actually here we're actually sitting out in Portland, if you know Portland by Weymouth. And the map spans all the way down. Ooh, I actually haven't gone down here yet. Oh, might be a bit glitchy, but expands all the way down to Exmouth, past Torquay, Newton Abbot, Exeter, big cities like that. And then all the way down to Plymouth, Barnstable, into Cornwall, and then St Aulis, Newquay, Truro, Falmouth, and then down to Penzance. This could be a very good main line from London. We could do a Penzance to London. That could be a very good. And then we're going to go back up into Devon, and then back up into Dorset. Dorset actually, so this is Devon, there's Dorset over here, and then this is Somerset. But then you have Taunton, and then you have Weston-super-Mare, then we got up by Bristol. We have a bit of South Wales. We have Newport, Cardiff, Barry, where Gavin and Stacey was filmed, Bridgend, and then we got Swansea, Port Talbot, and down right by the coast. By do we have New Milford? No, we don't. But then it comes all the way back. Past Bath, Chippenham, Westbury, into Poole, and then back into Hampshire, and then back into Hampshire, Southampton, Winchester, Basingstoke, Farnborough. This is I can tell you I live around here. Actually, this would have where I would live on it, but the town I live in is actually not big enough to be on this map. Then it goes back into Croydon and then back into London. And then you got Hayes, Slough, and then you go back out. But what we'll quickly do now is I'll give you a Google Maps and I'll basically show you where it is on the world, so you have a bit of understanding if you don't know exactly, because obviously I know it would help if you're from the UK, but if you're not from the UK, I can understand why you'd be quite confused now. So I'll just show you where it is in the world, and then you have understanding what's going on geographically. See you then. See you after the quick map tour. Boom. Hello, welcome back. We're back after the little map tour. I hope you enjoyed it. So the first thing I always like doing when I start in 1900, I like creating small bus routes and small little sort of road-based routes, which will eventually be deleted, and then I'll replace them with trains. trains are the faster and more satisfying way of transporting goods in this game, but I like to start with buses just because they're very it takes a couple, maybe it might take 3-4 episodes to make a good amount of money, but once you have a good amount of money you can expand into train lines without being super sweaty and stressed out about your budget, because trains can be very expensive. Righty ho, we're going to look for a massive decent sized bus station in London, I would have thought. Which is not too... Oh, that's very expensive, isn't it? Like to go for stuff which isn't absolutely painful. 225. That's not that much actually for that. Where it is in reality. And then obviously I like to place it here because then you can span more stations. So right, we've already got that. The first line I'm going to do, bus line, is going to go all the way out to Reading. It might go further, but I don't want to do it too far. And this is also a good, like, sort of, this would be pretty much in a sort of train sense, a very sort of commuter line. It would be sort of, nothing too long distance, nothing too hyper far. I mean, we could do it there. 2K, I'm fine with that. Righty ho. So that's pretty much connected. We're going to get stuff all the way back around. We're going to do, I enjoy starting, okay. Going to go past Hayes. I've never been to quite a lot of these places. Never been to Hayes before. Probably didn't even know it existed. Hayes. I like it. Hayes name. Hopefully we can get London to expand a bit. Or maybe London might just end up being another city, which doesn't look too big. Obviously, there's other big cities on this map: Exeter, Reading, Slough, Brighton, Portsmouth, Weymouth, Bournemouth. Okay, we'll just pop that. We just want the maximum capacity of these. We'll do a couple. I mean, I usually try and do 2 for starters, but I usually try and do. I did a Race to the North, if you know that one. That was the last map I did. I kind of failed on because my computer kind of had a bit of a glitch, but hopefully that won't happen with this one. Oh, it looks like it's fine. It's just kind of on a cliff edge, but doesn't matter. Okay, ooh, that's a bit late. Is that good? Do they look like that actually on the ground? Not really, no. I do not like these. I like stuff when it's placed on the ground naturally, not some mythical floating bus stop. That's not something I'm signed up to in Maidenhead. Maybe we could just rename it Floating City or something. Right, we'll probably go up. I mean, I could do it at the bottom of the mountain. I mean, do those connect to a lot of places? Yeah, that's fine. Maidenhead likes tools. I mean, we have to have a lot of production for tools and machines to supply Reading, and then we're gonna pop straight into Reading. Did I get stuff in Slough? Just checking. I did get a bus stop there. Nicely done. I did indeed. So right, we can first set up our first route of the whole playthrough. Right, here we're going to go with line 1. It's not going to be called line 1. We're going to obviously name stuff just because we're going to go stop at Hayes, stop at Slough, stop at Maidenhead, and then come to Reading. What we want to do at Reading is basically just come back to London and then pretty much just stop everywhere because we did 2 bus stops, so it would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, once we got... Okay, there we go. Back to Hayes, and then to London. So this can be to London to Reading bus. We'll just put that so we know what it is. It's just good. I like doing naming conventions so you know what stuff is, and then you can it helps you keep control of stuff because it can get quite messy once you have quite a lot of lines. I mean, I've never got to that proper stage where there's so many lines. I really get confused. I have got to a couple of stages where I do have a lot of lines, and I am a bit confused which ones are which, and that's mainly because they're line 1, 2, 3, but because you don't know which one. Okay, where are we going to do this bus depot? I mean, I would rather do it in Reading just because it's a slightly smaller town. Let's pop it here. This is a perfect space, and we can always delete it later. And another challenge I want to do for myself is... slightly more cheap. We want to save as much money. But another challenge I want to do is with trains. When we get a train depot, I want to only have one on the map. because there's this YouTuber I've seen before who does the Race to the North, probably one of the best playthroughs that I've ever seen. Shout out to Joe. He's a very good YouTuber, and he only had one train depot, and I would love to sort of replicate that. I mean, it might not be possible. I might be too, yeah, but we'll see. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how many we can get on here with a decent price. Obviously, this is very early in the stages of development. You can carry 6. Actually, that's more than I thought. So usually we'll just start off with 10 since they're quite cheap. Okay, we'll start off with that and then see how it goes. I usually try and make 2 and then we'll come and reflect back. I mean, actually we'll do 15 just because it's quite a long route. Oh, what's going on? Okay, there's no warnings. It just said to me there was a warning. Never mind. Okay, we'll go for 5 more. We can always sell stuff, but I think this route's going to do well. It's quite high density and it's near London, so I'm going to take the bet early on. No, we're not actually. And this is my first playthrough. Don't go balls to the wall straight away. Righty-ho. Here's our first line. How exciting! Our first line. Line 1, it should be called, but it's called London to Reading, and it's actually quite a good first line because it's quite in London. That is London and Reading are quite big cities. So yes, there we go. Ooh, get a bit of pollution, but it doesn't really matter. This is 1900 or 1900. Nobody really cares about pollution. We just care about money, making money. This is what this game is about, after all. There's other games where you can focus more on pollution. Righto, I'm thinking, what other route? Ooh, I don't want to because there was other routes, but now I'm gonna. How population in Brighton? That might be a. Ooh, okay, right. Yeah, I didn't really want to do a road, but I guess I'm gonna have to. We're gonna do a road somehow from. Oh, I'm gonna have to do some sort of tunnel, so unless I whip around like this. And actually, in this game, Transport Fever 3, I think is a bit different. But in this game, distance. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Distance actually usually equals more money. So even if it's a bit of a distance which doesn't really need to happen, this is more realistic. I want to do something around the coast because I believe that obviously these big hills or small little hills represent the Downs or the South Downs in the United Kingdom because they're not the Downs. Yeah, they're decent sized hills, but they're not full on mountains. So whoever's done this map obviously knows what's going on. So. Alright, we're going to try and bring this relatively. I mean, I don't want it to be right by the coastline. I mean, it could be right by the coastline, but we already decided it wasn't going to be right by the coastline by building it. So then we can sort of swing it around on it. Not as skilled as. I mean, could we come down there maybe? That's fine. Put it in the comments, what am I better at? Doing roads in the city skylines or doing roads in Transport Fever 2? Put it in the comments, I would like to know. I'll do a quick tip in this game actually. When you're doing roads, and this is the exact same with tracks, tip I would never create roads like this because, yes, you like that. Even though, yes, it looks relatively flat, 189k, if you do little bits like this, sort of like that, and then again like that, it will take a little bit longer, but it will save you like 20-30 grand. And if you're in the stages like this, you do want to do it. And also, obviously, it helps with aesthetics because, it looks relatively nice. I mean, that's probably the best with the terrain we can get. I mean, people are going to be probably a bit sick. It's probably going to be like being on the Virgin Pendolino, class 300. I believe it's a class 360. Oh, no, 390. No, it's a class 390. The Pendolino, I believe it's class 390. It's sort of turns on the corners. If you've ever been on one of those, it sort of tilts on the corners because it takes the corners extremely fast, 100 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, and it tilts to make sure it doesn't derail. And it can be actually quite. My cousin told me it was very you feel a bit sick when it happens. So we've got Brighton connected. What we're going to do is get this second route in. This is probably going to be like a sort of, I mean, we could talk about, I was going to talk, because I do like to think of these as like, I used to do, like Reading to London would be Great Western, or, which one am I thinking of doing? London to and then Brighton to London would be Southern. But now, since most of the British Railway is either nationalised or going to be nationalised, I'm not sure if that's really necessary anymore. I mean, it would be nice to see a couple of like sort of what is going on there. That is one weird thing. Okay, we'll just pop it over here. Does that actually work? Yeah, it kind of just goes underneath, but it's actually fine. It'd be nice to see a couple of like class, I believe those are class 399s. I'm not sure. The main Southern train. I did see that actually in real life in a Great British Railway livery, and I would love to see that in Transport Fever. I'm sure that'll come around fast because, you know, the Britain is always is where the first modern railway started, and it's always been quite influential through the history of railways. So I'm sure it won't take long for that mod to get introduced because there's such a huge you know, that everybody loves a bit of British trains, and obviously there's quite a lot of British players who play this too, I believe. Righty-ho. Ooh, this is going to be quite a thing. Ooh, I'm not liking this. Although the terrain is not really my fan here. Oh, maybe not. 140. No, 193. Yeah, we can do that. 193. Okay. Actually, you have a huge amount of budget. I didn't realise I would have that this much early in. You know what? I think I might do this and then maybe do a little food factory too. Just 3 main sort of veins to get the sort of body pumping and sort of walking, and then we can sort of run with trains. That's a bit the metaphor, but okay. I hope you didn't. I hope you understood that. Righty-ho, we're gonna get the line going. Righty-ho. So, did I do all the bus stops while I was talking? Did I was actually concentrating? Yes, I was. Okay. Line 2, another line. Line 1 it would be, but it would be line 2, but it's going to be obviously London to Brighton. Okay, we're going to have it coming around here, coming down here. Oh, tip. No, I'm good. I think I know. I mean, I could read it, but I can't be bothered. I do hopefully do know enough experience to, you know, get on with this. Ooh, righty-ho. Boy, what's going on here? Why did it do that? Oh, wait, we'll just have to start this again when it does that. Sometimes it does that. Okay, right, look, back to London Exchange. So this thing always does. Okay, we can call it something different maybe later, but I'm not going to bother with that so far. I mean, I think the biggest bus station in London is actually outside Victoria, which is obviously the southeastern terminal. I think it's called London Victoria Bus Station. I believe. It might not be. It might be another one, but I believe that's the biggest one. I've been at Victoria a couple of times, and there's loads of national buses, and there's a couple of flex buses from European destinations too. I think I actually saw Frankfurt once there, but it's mainly English destinations there. But there we go. Okay, that's going to be called London to Brighton. We've only been doing this 18 minutes, and we've already done quite a lot. Oh, nice. We're yeah, okay. I can't spell. I mean, how do you spell Brighton? Ton. Pretty sure that's how you spell it. Or I've copied it correctly, hopefully. Okay, bus. Boom. Hopefully, yeah. There we go. We'll probably have to do another bus station by. I'll have to do it probably by Croydon, just because I just realised I can't afford to get buses all the way up by. Here we go. Get something going like that. And we'll get another. We'll get 10 on this one. This, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to cut it back, but to be honest, I don't think I will. We'll get, yes, they're big cities, so I mean, theoretically, if this one can survive with 10, this one definitely needs more than 10. It's a bigger route, and it's probably got, there's 2 more. I mean, it serves 3 instead of 4 because it's Maidenhead's the extra one because you've only got Croydon and Crawley there. Okay, I'm already learning this map quite well, probably because I really live there, because sometimes if I do foreign maps, half the pronunciations probably offend people, and I don't know. I kind of get a bit lost because I have no idea where I am. But I'm hoping to do some of those because often I find those the most exciting. You got to expand London Exchange. Why can't I expand that? Oh, great. We've got some fat ass building in the way, but we'll do that later. It doesn't really matter. Yes, I will. We will do some more playthroughs. This is just the first, but usually when I first start, I usually will start with my own country because it's just more of a sort of I know what's going on kind of thing. I know the cities and I don't have a problem pronouncing it. It's just that little less hurdle to jump over. I think we need some buses. Oh my gosh, this is already getting 34. Look at lines. Why is it losing money? $14 out of 60, but there's definitely more people waiting. I do realise it was not. Yeah, they haven't gone off, but I'm going to put another 10 on. I think that's like executive. We'll put another 10 on. They're not that expensive anyway, so. Okay, righty ho. Do you want to do something quickly? There was a bit here. I was just looking for something quickly to do. Okay, sure. This is a big city, Basingstoke. We'll supply Basingstoke with a bit of food, shall we? Righty-ho. We'll do the most simplest truck line. Probably this one has to be a bit bigger, but it's only sort of we'll probably make that a bit bigger. This one won't need to be that big, so we'll just do it there. And where does the most amount of food need to be? Way too expensive. Way too expensive. Could we just squeeze it on here so it's cheap? No, it's fine. Righty ho. Okay, we're going to supply a bit of food to Basingstoke. We're going to feed them. They're going to be the first to have food, obviously. I mean, obviously, they probably do have food before this. Obviously, there wouldn't be some town here, settlement here without food. But we're going to supply them with more food, more boutique food, or just more food in general, like maybe some potatoes or just bread. And maybe just imagine it's bread. They're starving because they're completely angry because there's no bread. I know it is labelled as food, but it doesn't really make sense because the town's already surviving and thriving because it is growing slowly. Even if I just started giving it a little passenger connection, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's a video game, but to grow them statistically, you have congestion, you have destination. So if the more places you connect it, the more it'll grow. The better the congestion is, the more it'll grow. So it's growing 20% because the congestion is 20% because it's quite good. So it deems the congestion 20% good. So it gives me 20% growth. And then you have the amount of supply, so fuels, food, and then you have quality, so very good, but those less, traffic, noise, and I'm not sure what that one is, but the destination supplies the main three ones which we need to really focus on, and after all, we can take control of. I probably would rather quickly expand this a tiny bit more, just because I know there'll probably be a bit more wheat here, but there's not too, I don't want to overdo this too much, so we'll just do 3. And we'll do that then, that's perfect. Didn't really need to do that in retrospect because that's the only one. But righty ho, actually theoretically, for Basingstoke, I think I can put a quick bus thing in because, come on now. And then, I mean, we could do a quick road connection because it's going to take a long time to get around. So we're going to do here. Road. I mean, I'd rather not go from there because you can obviously see it's. How bad is that? That's fine actually. We'll pop out like that. We can come around just a bit further. We'll go like that, and then we'll try and pop her down with this without looking too bad. Go here. go here. Voila! Okay, lovely. So that should be a little route, which could make us a bit more money, because usually supplies at this period usually make me more money, a bit more, but I wouldn't be focusing too much on this. It will just help the growth of Basingstoke in reality. Okay. They don't really need to go via. I would rather. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that's the best way they can do it. So what we'll do, I could probably have picked a better one, which is slightly closer, but never mind. Okay, would you like 10, I think? What are these? How expensive are these? Okay, how about we do 8? I think that's a fair. Line 1. And we'll just label it as Basingstoke food. We'll just speed time up. We have to speed time up in this period because this, after all, is the slowest period of the game. This is where, you know, it's a very slow period of the game. But it gets faster. You know, you get more lines, you get more money coming in. You get more, you know, as you get more lines, and then you get trains and stuff moves faster. Then you have 10 trains going up and down, so then you'll have more stuff, and then you have buses in different towns, so there'll constantly be money coming in. That's what happens later. I mean, I'm sure you probably played Transport Fever before, actually, if you've been watching this. I don't know. You might just click, hopefully you've probably clicked on this on my YouTube channel, or just somehow, you know, like my City Skylines. Or if you haven't watched my City Skylines series, I'm halfway through, not halfway through, I'm about a quarter way through or less. Of an amazing City Skylines series. So if you're bored at any time, go ahead and watch that, because it's a really good it's going really well. I believe it's going really well. You may not think it's going really well. You might think it's a shit city, but I think it's going okay. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going really well. I think it's going okay. I think it's a good town. I think, and it's obviously going to grow as time goes on, and things are going to become cooler with bigger cities. I mean, bigger populations. Because as time goes on, I'm going to expand the other side of the harbour, and then I'm going to build a massive high-rise city with loads of high-rises, so much more population, because, you know, it's not residential now, it's high density populated residential. It's not just little small family houses. Now it's apartment blocks, so it's highly dense. The population is very densely packed, so it's going to be a highly densely populated area with loads of cool harbours and museums and cool other cool sort of tourist attractions and parks. It's going to look lovely. Go over there and watch the video. I'm sure you won't regret it. Righty ho, 128. We're already suffering, but I literally, because I don't want to I mean, I guess it would. The thing with this is it always has a demand. So you know what we'll do? We'll just order another 10. I'll take the hit. We'll go for another 10 here. Go for another 10 on this line. And I'll spend a tiny bit more money trying to expand this area, because if it's already giving me 160, it won't give me, because it's losing, we're losing that now, because it won't give me any more, because that's the stuff, the products it's giving me is going to be, do I get money back for this? No, I don't. I should probably not do that. But yeah, it will give you the products for, I don't know, sure, but it will give you the products. So if it gives you 155, it's not because those are 155, that's going to equal down to 56 an hour or a day. It's going to equal to 56 a day food to Basingstoke, if that makes sense. Righty ho. How are we doing for money? We're losing. Don't know how we're losing so much money. At this period, you want to kind of start, get another 10 on with the Brighton, because you want to get as much capacity. Even though you're losing money, you're still making money. Okay, where the hell? I did do, oh yeah, it's up here, I forgot about that. We do another 10 along here, because there's passengers waiting. One thing before you always board, just check here. See, it's 21 out of 60, but there's loads of people waiting. See, like here you have it. You hear, oh no, there's not actually that many people waiting there. But like it's sort of Croydon, you have 45, and it's not even hold. So I might actually do 5 for that one, because that one's not as much. That is not. I did predict that wasn't going to be as bad. But what we'll do is we'll do a 5. I think that'll be fine. London to Brighton. Right here. Like, what at this point, you want to constantly be trying to buy stuff, because then that will maximize the amount of profit you can make. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to probably have to expand this again, because we've got 29 waiting here. You know, we could probably have more. We're actually losing. I guess we could probably expand this a tiny bit too. Configure. Passengers. Boom. 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 That's probably perfect. 30 is fine, but 30 there is way more, because 6 divided by 30, that is still, I don't know maths, but I'm sure that's about 10, because there's loads of other things going on the other side of the line, because there's quite a lot more. This is a bigger line, so we'll go for another 10. Okay, on this line. Okay, we're now down to 200k, but that should be a bit more. Try and get people going the other way. You can't, I mean, that's just going to lose a ton of money. Now, how about you all just go the other way and just collect passengers? Come on. Come on, man. Stop being difficult. Because they're just going to go up there and there might not be enough people. But here, I know there's going to be a good amount. Okay, that guy can keep on going. But all these people can just come down and queue at this place, because this is going to be the better option for them at this period. Right, okay. A good amount of them will come down here. That's what I know. Right here, let's go down to Reading Annex. Let's carry on. Let's carry on speed. This is probably the best time you want to do speed up, because I've got it running. I also have Sandbox, so I've got it running at quarter speed at this times where stuff is going to go quite fast. So we don't. So in retrospect, I can always speed it up later when stuff slows down. But when this stuff speeds, we don't lose too much time, if that makes sense. Righty ho. Oh no, that's not the thing I meant to do. Let's carry on. Right, let's actually go speed, because we want to, you know, do something in this episode. Right here, those guys should all pick up people. Come on. Okay, we have our first one, which is making money. Right here, we have some food, which is going to be dropped off. Food is a lot more, usually. Food is usually probably the most profitable stuff we can have at this period of time. Come on, autosave, get out here. Autosaves can be extremely frustrating. Yeah, autosaves can be the bane of annoyance for a Transport Fever player. You know, I forgot to tell you about my experience. You know, I've played Transport Fever for a long time. I mean, I got this game, well, I'm not the exact game. I was playing back in 2016 as like a 10-year-old kid who really didn't know what he was doing. I mean, I was messing up all the time, but I was still playing, getting experience. And I did learn. I was actually only like one of like 400,000 people at that time playing Transport Fever 1. Because when Transport Fever 2 came out, they did a total of how many copies were bought, and it was only 500,000. But Transport Fever 1 was still a very good game. It's about the same quality as City Skylines 1. It's a very good game, and I definitely got a lot of experience. In City Skylines I have 7 experience. In this game I would say I have like 8 or 9. But the thing is, it's 2 years. But on City Skylines I've played 400, 500 hours. I've played double on this game. I like trains and transport, so I've played about 1,000 hours on this game over like this period of 9 to 10 years. I mean, it's 9 to 8 realistically. I really do want to get more trucks on this. Do you know what? We'll just spend the rest of the money, because, you know, it takes... No, we can't even afford that much. Righty-ho. That's the... Oh, come on. We can probably afford that much in a minute. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go for the Basingstoke route. That's 4. And also, the thing why it's producing so much, I totally forgot about this, is it doesn't even matter if you over, like, sort of... there might not be enough demand over in Basingstoke, but if there's the rest of the demand is stored. So when when the time comes to expand to Guildford with a train route or something, or some sort of goods route, we can basically there's a whole load of storage in there, or like which we can be used up if like somehow the wheat or something that doesn't work. But yeah, we got loads of other production around here if anything does really flop. Yeah. How's profits doing? 106k. I'm not sure why this one's not making money. We're steadily going for the profit. Yeah. I mean, things are going to move slowly. I'm still surprised that one isn't making money, but maybe I do need to take a couple off it. So what we're going to do now, I think, is we've pretty much done the basics, or sort of the foundation of hopefully my company. I'm kind of just see how it all does, and see if it's and then we'll come back in maybe like 30 minutes or maybe 20 minutes. Doesn't even, I don't know, but we'll come back and sort of, we need to make a bit more money to sort of expand. But what I'll be doing is pretty much, it'll just be on speed. It might just be a very short thing. But if I do anything between now and if I do anything to sort of change stuff in between now and me seeing you after this like time lapse, or maybe we'll just edit straight to like the bit where I think we'll just edit straight to the bit where I make money. But usually in between now and just buy more trucks, buy more buses on the same line to basically match the capacity and the demand, so it makes the max amount of profit it could possibly can. But well, basically it does go very slowly at this time period. I mean, we might take a loan towards the end of the episode, but I think we might just edit to like the bit where we're actually doing stuff, because it's going very slowly at the minute. Now I might even pause the game while we do this very high speed thing. We'll get it to 1910 and then we'll just see where stuff's going. But I don't want years like passing me by. But yeah, I'll see you after this edit. Hopefully I survive. I might have actually flopped and gone bankrupt. Hopefully not. Goodbye, edit. We're back from the edit. We've made ourselves a sweet million, or sweet million and 10 grand. Not exactly sweet million. I mean, it would be very hard to hit it, make it stop exactly on a million. But we kind of, I mean, especially at this game, a stage of the game, definitely requires a bit of patience. Or I mean, I literally did nothing there. I didn't even add any buses. I literally just had some water and did a couple of GCSE questions for my maths paper. It required nothing. I mean, that's pretty much the foundation. I wouldn't go as far to say it was a masterclass in a foundation of starter map, but I would say it's pretty much rudimentary. If I would say a masterclass, I would say this. This third line would have had to be another bus line, which would have done as well as this one. But the truck line didn't do as well. But it was still okay. But I mean, not exactly a masterclass, but it's close enough. But right, what we're going to do now is pretty much just create another like bus route, and I mean, maybe we could go from another area. Maybe we could connect up some other stuff. Maybe we could do. Oh, this would be a massive route actually. This is a very densely populated short route. How about Southampton to Reading? Connect up some other major cities. Yeah, we have to connect up these. This is another major city route. It's good to do these quite early on because you can definitely bargain yourself quite a lot of customers with these places. And that's definitely capturing a lot. Okay, righty here. Winchester, these are big cities on the route over there. Winchester and Basingstoke. Winchester's a city just because it has a cathedral, but it has the exact same population. With cathedral status, this one's a city, that one's a town. But with the just population, they're both big towns. They're both like sort of 50, 60,000 people. They're both big places. Especially in British sizes. If you're American, maybe not so much, but in British terms, that's a big place. And then we're going to have that all the way hooking back to Reading, and also plus size, we got this. So yes, there we go. And we didn't even have to build another one. That was probably a good shout from me. But I was going to have a million loan, or maybe I don't need. I am going to have a million loan, aren't I? I mean, it depends how much I'm going to have to pay back a year, but we're going to have to go with it, aren't we? This might be the end of the episode, just doing this last, and then we'll see how this is done. We've gone a bit too far, but we're going to do a refund with 9k. Righty ho. We got a million, and we're going to get about, we're going to get 10 on it. We'll see how this goes, actually. Oh, we're going to go, you know what, actually do go 12. Oh, I need to create the line too, what an idiot. What an absolute, yeah. I'm not going to say any rude things. This is a family-friendly channel. Okay. And some people are subscribed to me. I don't really want to, I have some subscribers who I think, probably, it's from my family and some other people I know, so probably wouldn't, keep it family-friendly too. Okay, we're going to have it all the way back to Southampton. This is a nice line of blue. I do enjoy the blue. I think it's a very nice blue, actually. Thumbs up from me. Back to the green. That's not a very good name, the green. You would expect some sort of green, like cricket green, to be there, but it's not. That's blackmail. Right, yeah. Okay, that's going to be Southampton to Reading. How do you spell Southampton? It's a big name, but it's pretty torn. To Reading. Okay, let me just undo this. Bus. Righty ho. Okay. Why is that longer than all? Oh, it's because it's Southampton. Bloody massive name. Okay. Righty ho. And then we can. Do we have all these still in there? We still had. Where did those 10 trucks go? Did I sell them? I must have, because they would have still been here. No. Okay, cool. Right here. Come on. Okay, we're gonna go for 12 of these again. Do you know what? Just type it instead of 12. Okay, righty home. Southampton. Woohoo. Let's go. We'll see how this goes for a bit more time. We'll see how much am I paying back in loans. That's the only other thing which kind of worries me. But we can repay it as soon as possible. How much is a loan? But how much should financial? Oh yeah. Loan interest. Oh, it's only 114 a month. Actually, only 114 a month. I'm not a big fan of the loan, so I will try and repay it. But I feel like that's a pretty good start. I mean, we've done 3 bus. I think that's going to do pretty well. I think that's quite a good start to a video. We got our bus lines. We got a pretty good foundation. Obviously, we're going to be extending on this. How's Basingstoke? And obviously, that's going to be growing because it's getting some connections too. That's probably going to be quite a big city because I'm giving it quite a lot. But yeah, we're having these coming down here, I'll have a little thumbnail actually. Yeah, we'll finish here. Finish with a thumbnail where a bus isn't behind a car. We'll go with something like, yeah. Do you know what? We'll go with London. We'll go with London. The birthplace of the world. No, I'm not joking. But it used to be the biggest city in the Victorian times or the 19th century. We'll just go with this. I think it looks quite nice. We'll go for that. It's a nice thumbnail. Yeah, but that will be the end of the video there. This is going to be episode 1 of the Southwest of England series, my first ever series on my YouTube channel, Open Your Mind. Do feel free to watch some of the other videos on my YouTube channel. They're all, well, they're all pretty good, I think, but maybe you don't think so. And if you don't think they're good, do put that in the comments so I know how to improve. But thank you so much for watching this lovely video. This has been Open Your Mind. Have a lovely evening or a lovely day. Au revoir. Goodbye.
You know it's ours.
Say it loud, no doubt. Say it loud, no doubt. I'm the main, can't dim my flame, flame. Whole place, change when I walk in the frame. Eyes on me, I don't do maybe. Main character energy, that's daily.